We all want to know how to make our radio station bigger and better and more successful. Here's a man who did it for Triple M in Australia, Mike Fitzpatrick. How did you do it?
Well, it just took me half an hour to tell a room. You want me to tell you in a minute and a half?
A minute and a half, yeah.
Creating compelling content.
Oh, that's just so easy to say and hard to do.
The right cast is critical. Making sure everyone understands the vision and what the win is. Everyone, from on air to off air, really clearly. And then really trying things differently, doing things, challenging the norm and not accepting the way things have always been done as the way to do them for the future.
Can you take the old audience with you when you relaunch a station?
Sunshine 106.8, wherever you are. On digital and now.
That's a bit loud, isn't it?
Well, that's an interesting question. Can you take them with you when you relaunch a radio station? Well, we weren't necessarily relaunching the radio station. We had an established group of fans of our brand who loved us and wanted us to be better, so we built from them. If I was changing to a polka station, I can't imagine I'd be able to keep any of my old audience.
Back in my career in the 1980s, I was part of the relaunch of what was called Radio London into what became known as GLR, and we did it by turning the radio station off for 2 weeks. Yeah. And I think we learned to regret that, because what that did was it just told everybody to go away and we'd start again.
Correct.
So actually, bringing a few of the old people with us might have been quite handy.
Unless you've got an incredible marketing budget that tells people you switched it back on again, no one's going to turn back your radio station. Well, so you don't actually need incredible marketing budgets anymore, because we have these things called fan communities.
Fandoms.
And they exist on social, and they exist out there, people who love your brand. And you can build a tribe of marketers that will go to war for your brand if you listen to them and are honest with them and allow them the opportunity to be heard.
And you are targeting men?
Yeah.
Are you telling women to go away?
Anyone who pees standing up. That was part of our vision. Anyone who pees standing up. No, we're not telling women to go away. Although I do like to pick an enemy every now and then. They're certainly not the enemy. No, we target men because I don't think, unless you clearly have a 50-50 male-female strategy, I don't think you can say we're a male radio station, but let's just be careful of women. What we don't do is we're men who love women. We have wives, daughters, girlfriends, sisters, aunts, and so we're always respectful. We're not misogynistic in any way. People tend to think that if you have a male brand, you're misogynistic by design. That's not true. It's not always about tits and cars. It's our breakfast show can go from talking about football to having a breast cancer survivor on, or talking about domestic violence. We're supporters of White Ribbon Day, which is a foundation in Australia that raises awareness of domestic violence against women, and we can do that. You wouldn't normally consider it compelling content from a male radio station, but as I said, we all have women in our lives, and that affects us as well as it affects them. So I think challenging the way we think about what content is for what audience, and just creating interesting content.
We were told for many years, often I have to say by Australians, that you couldn't mix music and speech, that you were either a speech station and you did all talk, or you were a music station and you just played back-to-back hits. Now, you've broken those rules, haven't you?
Yeah, we have. My breakfast show is kind of... my breakfast show is case in point. We started and I said, you've got to play 4 songs an hour, and then my breakfast host, who's an incredible host, and in fact they're all incredible performers, said to me, okay, we'll play 4 songs, and then some mornings he'd play 2. And I'm you've got to play 4, and then he proved to me that every time he takes a song out, our TSL goes up. He said, no one wants to hear from Leonard Skinner when I'm talking about the football. So, okay, well, if you can replace the song with compelling content, then you can drop a song. I think when we're telling you to not mix sport, and not mix talk, and not mix music, probably in the old AM days, because have you ever listened to a song on AM radio? It's disgusting.
No, but the idea used to be, absolutely, didn't they? They always used to say you can't mix, because the person who wants speech and the person who wants music, they might actually be the same person at different times of the day, but they want a different thing. And I've always felt that that's wrong, that actually a good mixture of the two is a very attractive listen.
I believe so. And I also think it's about where it's consumed. So, most listening now, I understand, in Australia is consumed in car, certainly under 55. So if you're in the car, you can listen to speech. If you're at work and it's on the background, the last thing you want is some prat banging on about whatever he thinks. You want some music and some relief with up-to-date information and breaking stories when they happen. So it's a really simple theory.
Mike Fitzpatrick from Triple M. Well, what are the 3 M's, by the way?
Melbourne. That's in Melbourne. I don't know what they stand for in Sydney.